Good morning, Carole. How are you?
I am fine, Lyric. It's so good to see you again.
Good to see you
I
too.
remember our lovely afternoon, evening in the Asheville area when
Somewhere
we
up
saw the
there.
outside band, and when we were up in North Carolina,
Yeah, we taught at North Carolina Quilt Symposium, Lake Junealaska. That's what it was called.
Lake
Where we
Junealaska,
taught,
right?
and then
Right.
it was one of the little towns next to that that was
Yeah,
just charming.
it
Did you
was.
eat barbecue with me? Did we get to eat barbecue there? Our
No, we
favorite
didn't eat
barbecue place
barbecue.
ever
We
is
we
there.
shopped for jewelry.
Oh, I should have worn those earrings. They're some of my favorites. They had a really great jeweler shop that
Yeah,
every case had a different artist in it, and they were wonderful, weren't they?
yeah.
Yeah, you probably had to drag me out of there going, Lyric, it's been 4 hours in here. Let's go.
No, I was happy to stay there too.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So tell
My
me where
allergies.
you are and what it looks like where you are.
Okay, I am now living in Sarasota, Florida. We've been down here about 7 years. Originally, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and lived there all my life, my husband and I. But he decided he wanted warm weather when he was ready to retire, so we
Imagine that.
moved here. And I had to find a quilt community because we actually didn't know anybody down here. We had one friend who kind of visited, but uh, so I just found a community, and then I co-founded the Sarasota Modern Quilt Guild,
Oh,
and
nice.
that's my home guild, and we have so much fun together.
Oh,
And
how
in fact, we birthed a sister guild, a sister modern quilt guild in Sarasota. So we have two modern quilt guilds in Sarasota
that's
with a
awesome.
total of, I don't know, about 125 members, something like that total.
Good for
So
you.
very vibrant modern guild, modern quilting community in this whole region, actually.
Yeah. It's not as scary as it seems if you don't, when you move somewhere and you don't
Hmm.
find the community that you miss
Yeah,
so much, to just start it yourself. There
yeah,
are going to be other
absolutely.
people out there, and they're just waiting for somebody to start it.
Yeah,
Just I've
yeah.
done
And
that
that
a couple times.
that's exactly what happened. My co-founder Jody and I, we met online. I guess the Modern Quilt Guild mothership connected us up somehow. But anyway, we met and hung out a bit and said, well, maybe we can find 5 or 10 people who might be interested. And that was the first meeting. And before we knew it, we had over 50 members and people knocking on the door. But we limited membership because our free space is
Mm,
small.
mm.
And we, didn't want to have to pay for space or get too big and whatever. But that's okay because now we have a sister guild, and all the overflow went over there.
Excellent.
So we do joint things together too. So it's fun.
That's exciting. That's so much fun.
It
What
is.
does lockdown look like where you are?
Very interesting. I'm near the city of Sarasota, although I actually live in the county adjacent to it. But between our two counties, which are really one regional area, the number of cases and deaths have been relatively low compared to the eastern side of the state, like Miami area.
Mhm.
So, and I believe that the reason is on this side, my side of the state, we're an older population demographically, and many people have barely left their house since the 1st of March. So the stay at home, I mean, I can't remember, what our governor did in terms of rules and stuff, because people didn't care. They were staying home. They were making masks and donating masks and wearing masks and staying home.
It makes a
And that's,
difference.
again, yeah, and that's because of our demographics. People just said, I get it. I'm not risking my health.
Right.
We're just starting to see people come out. The beaches are open, I think, this week. And so we'll see more people and more traffic. But in early March, I went out, I think, to a grocery store or something. Must have been a grocery store. And and it was a Saturday, early Saturday morning, like 10 o'clock or something. The streets were empty. It was eerie, actually.
It
It
does
was
feel
actually
strange, doesn't
eerie.
it?
Yeah, and since about late April, they're starting to fill up a little bit. But people have just, of all ages, have really gotten it. Social distanced, and there are people who don't wear masks and whatever. But the percentage of people being cautious and respectful is pretty high.
That's good. Love your neighbor by just doing this small thing,
Mhm. Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Good. And have you coped with it well being at home? I mean, you're
yeah.
a very talented teacher as well. So have all your gigs been canceled? Did you have a busy year lined up?
I had a busy year lined up and everything's canceled. I have two things tentatively for the fall, or they're still on the calendar. And we'll see, I'll see how, and they're both local. So I'll see how what fall looks like to decide if I want to be in a large group. And the other things, the guilds have said, well, maybe we'll do them next year. Let's think about it and see how things go. So that was fine. I was perfectly fine with that, with things canceling. And I've been very busy, actually myself, for the past few weeks, because I was finishing the filming and editing and uploading my first online class. It's one of those
Oh,
on-demand 24/7 classes.
yeah. What's it
And
called?
it's called Mid-Century Modern Curves Workshop. And it's sold out in 24 hours.
Oh, good for you. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yep, 24 hours. And I was thrilled. And it sold out from my wait list.
Oh,
And
excellent.
I finally said, actually, I oversubscribed it because I had set a limit in how many people I wanted in the first class.
Mm-hmm.
And I took more because they signed up so fast. It got bigger before I realized it. But I'm planning some additional live classes and more online on-demand classes that'll be launched over the summer.
Good.
So that has kept me totally busy, and I wasn't even, restless because I was in the computer and I had testers testing and doing a fabulous job testing. And so I was making edits and testing everything. So I was like totally in the screen, in the cloud. And then after the class launched, there was a quiet period while I waited to see how it would go. And it went really well. People really liked the material. And now, Lyric, I'm looking around and I said to my husband a few days ago, I want to go out to dinner. I miss restaurants. I want the museum to open back up.
You met your
I was like,
deadline. You're good. And now you're like, wait.
where? I gotta go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I calmed down, and I said, I'll wait. I'm good. I just had to get that out of my system. But yeah, now I'm feeling I'm just noticing how long we've been in lockdown, really. Since for us, it's been, I taught in Tennessee the first week of March. I guess I got home around the 5th or 6th or something.
I was
at a large.
I was in Jacksonville, Phil, that week. That was the last gig I did.
Yes.
And they
Yeah,
thought I was crazy. I had built up this barrier all around me and said, I love you so much that I'm sorry, we're not going to get close. We have this big video screen. I can see your work. You can see my work big, but I love you, so I'm not going to do my usual, because I'm in people's faces. Like when we teach tiny handwork beading, sometimes I'm around their back, hugging them, holding their hands, saying, if you try it this way.
Oh, right.
So it was they thought I was insane, but
well, you were smart
they're healthy.
because
I didn't kill anybody unwittingly.
you didn't kill anybody. They didn't kill you. No, you were smart because I was sort of paying attention, but not really. Uh, I wasn't thinking about social distancing that week. And it wasn't till I got home the next day, I sort of looked around and said, oh my gosh, this is getting serious. And I just got off 4 planes this week, you know. And fortunately, all was well, but I just felt lucky because my students, I'm sure like yours, came from all over. They weren't just from the little town of, you know, wherever I was, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh, that's a lovely area.
It was. I didn't get out to see much of it, but it's quite lovely. But yeah, so how has it affected you, Lyric?
I've been up and down, rough start. Mostly because my schedule was off. My kids, you know, were suddenly home from school, and they're responsible, amazing, good kids. My 20-year-old was in AmeriCorps, and they suspended the program, so he was back home. He had been stationed in Montana, and it took like 2.5 days to fly home because it was right when they had already canceled all the flights. So he said, yeah, I know. I'm going to be in the airport overnight. They just told me to come back to the desk in the morning when people are awake. So, you know, he's 20. He can sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, so just, I'm on antidepressants and very, very high functioning and am totally fine, but I was so thrown off schedule that I didn't even realize for a few weeks that I was forgetting my meds half of the days. And so I took a big dive and then woke up and went, this might be a problem.
Right. Yeah.
So
we got folks to take care of.
I know, right? Oh, I'm so scatterbrained that I have to be really organized with a schedule. Otherwise, nothing gets done. I have to write everything down. I have to actually look at what I wrote down. Otherwise, it's just gone. But slowly got back up, and right now I'm just on fire because I'm kind of in the same place where you were. I've got a class I'm teaching in a couple days, and still have to video a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm busy. I've got the same kind of thing. I've pivoted. I brought back a couple old classes that I really hated teaching live, but I think will be fabulous virtually. It's because of the sewing machine class. I hate making, this is crazy, right? I'm a quilter. I hate teaching any class with a machine because somebody's machine is always not working. And I can fix it, but while I'm fixing their machine, I'm not teaching. And that person is always frustrated. But when they're at home in their own studio with their regular machine, right? I think it's going to be much, much better. So I've got a really fun sewing machine class that now I can bring out again and not have to fix their machine for them.
That's my experience too. In addition to, you know, them being in the comfort of their own space, you know, whatever their table is for cutting and whatever, they also have their own stash, their whole stash there.
Right.
So if they pull something out, some stuff out, and then we're talking and giving, you know, whatever feedback, and then they can go pull out a new blue or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's easy and it's low stress, no stress, hopefully.
Yeah, nobody has to pack a car. I think this virtual live as well as on-demand teaching has fabulous advantages. I mean, nothing will ever replace the way it feels to be in a room all together because I love our people, right? It's just so much fun. I derive so much energy from teaching. I learn so much from my students and from that give and take and that energy that we have back and forth. But this is going to be really fun. I'm actually really looking forward to the rest of this year, maybe most of next year, doing this virtual thing and learning a lot through it.
Yeah, we're both on, professional groups with other quilt teachers and all talking and trying to figure this new world out. And the whole conversation around, the intimacy and the vibrancy of being in the room with each other. And I have let go of a lot of that concern. And I think that because we're all getting so used to reaching out to each other like this, like we're doing right now, we'll bring a lot of that energy back. Because like you said, it may be quite a while before any large groups get together, for sure. The big quilt conferences and so forth. And guilds, depending on the area and sensibilities of the members, some are going to go back to meeting in the fall. Others are not going to do workshops or anything, or have people sitting 8 feet apart. And I wonder, when people are sitting 8 feet apart and you're way away from the students, how much better is that going to be than having a small group on Zoom of 12 people, for an intimate workshop? I don't know. Is it better, or is it just different?
It's apples and oranges, I think, right? It's going to be different. And I've read a really, really good article on contact tracing and how they've done a few really good contact tracing studies of people who are in restaurants together. And it's not about how close you are together. It's about the air circulation in the room.
Yes.
So, and the amount of time you're in the room with somebody who's infected,
right.
So.
Yeah. So
I'm comfortable going online and virtually now for the next little while, just because, we work with a high-risk demographic, and they're amazing, quilters are amazing people, and they have so much good and wonderful things to offer the world. Let's keep them here as long as we can.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm just thrilled to see teachers like us really embrace the online teaching to bring, experiences to our people, our folks, our tribe in the meantime.
They don't have you feel like we're kind of the
YouTube
connectors. We're kind of the people that bring people together, the spoke of the wheel that says, come on, people, gather in and let's do this. This wonderful thing that we still love to do, because we can do it. We can do this. Well, do you have...
I had a call I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to quickly say I had a call last night with about 20 people who are in my online class now. And they were scattered all over the country. And one of the students on the call lives in England and doesn't have any modern quilters near her. There's no guild, there's no group. So for her to be able to reach out and touch and talk with other people interested in modern quilting was really a gift for her that she wouldn't have had otherwise.
That's going to be a fantastic thing. We can spread, you and I can travel, we can teach internationally, and it won't cost them $1,000 for a plane ticket. That's going to be fun. As long as we're willing to get up at weird hours, which I'm sure
and
we are, right?
Yeah. Well, I did that in my corporate life because I had clients, in Australia and Singapore and whatever. So I would do group and team coaching at 5 a.m. my time or whatever, and that was fine. That was what I was paid to do, and I loved it. So I just wake up, get my green tea loaded in me, and get that caffeine going. And then I was like, "Hi, good evening." So
that's fabulous. Carole, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and connecting.
Sure.
with me and with all of our people. Is there any advice you want to give to our quilters who are watching this?
Oh, my advice, call your quilt buddies on the actual physical telephone. Don't just do virtual chats. Pick up the phone and call. I have found my phone calls with family and friends to just be delightful. 15 minutes on the phone is just warmer, or FaceTime if you've both got iPhones. But that phone call is just so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's not through this screen, So add that to your to-do list.
Okay. I just thought of 2 people. I'm going to call them today. I will do it.
Good.
All right. Thanks so much, Carole. It is just fabulous to see your beautiful face again and the gorgeous quilt behind you. And we'll put the link to your website and your online class that only has a wait list because it's so full. But I'm sure people will want to sign up on the next wait list and get in on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lyric. And be sure to send me links to your classes so I can let my students know about them, because I want to spread the love.
Okay. Love you.
All right.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Leave a comment and let's have a conversation. I would also love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or check out lyrickinard.com, where you can find wonderful art and textile related things. Bye for now.